What if I told you that one woman shaped the Harlem Renaissance, mentoring the greatest literary voices of the era, yet history nearly erased her name? Jessie Redmon Fauset was a powerhouse editor, a brilliant writer, and the quiet force behind literary icons like Langston Hughes, Nella Larsen, and Countee Cullen. But while W.E.B. Du Bois gets much of the credit for the NAACP's official publication, The Crisis, it was Fauset who made it a launchpad for Black writers. I'm Dr. Denise LaRosa, and today we're diving into Harlem Rhapsody by Victoria Christopher Murray, a novel that finally brings Jessie Redmon Fauset into the spotlight where she belongs. Victoria Christopher Murray is a powerhouse in historical and contemporary fiction, with over 30 novels to her name. She's a New York Times bestselling author and a celebrated voice in bringing untold Black stories to life. You might know her from The Personal Librarian, which she co-wrote with Marie Benedict, or from her extensive body of work exploring faith, identity, and resilience. With Harlem Rhapsody, Murray transports us to 1920s Harlem, a time of artistic brilliance and cultural revolution. But instead of focusing on the usual figures, Murray turns her attention to Jessie Redmon Fauset, a woman whose influence was monumental, but whose story has been largely overlooked. Fauset wasn't just an editor. She was a gatekeeper, a nurturer of Black literary talent, and a writer in her own right. But she struggled against sexism, racism, and the constraints of the time. This novel brings her story to life, showing us the weight of her contributions and the challenges she faced. Through Murray's masterful storytelling, we see Fauset not just as a footnote in history, but as a trailblazer who shaped the Harlem Renaissance from behind the scenes. One thing that really stuck with me is how little I knew about Jessie Redmon Fauset before reading this book. In fact, I knew absolutely nothing about this powerhouse. How is it that a woman who shaped The Crisis, the very magazine that launched the careers of Langston Hughes and Nella Larsen, has been overshadowed for so long? We hear W.E.B. Du Bois' name all the time as the founding editor and beyond. But Fauset was the one behind the scenes, curating, mentoring, and creating space for Black writers to be heard. Another powerful takeaway is the way Harlem Rhapsody highlights the hidden labor of Black women in history. Jessie Redmon Fauset wasn't the only woman making things happen behind the scenes, yet so often credit goes elsewhere. This book challenges us to rethink whose names we remember and whose contributions we celebrate. So here's my challenge for you. Think about a time when someone's contributions went unnoticed. Maybe in your own life, maybe in history. How can we do better at recognizing and honoring the people who shape the world behind the scenes? And if you haven't already, please pick up Harlem Rhapsody because Jessie Redmon Fauset's story deserves to be known. I'd love to hear your thoughts. DM me on Instagram at LaRosaReads or share your reflections using #RootedInStory. Thanks for listening, and until next time, keep reading, keep reflecting, and stay rooted in story.